Every business starts with a dream. That spark of inspiration, the drive to create something new, to fill a need, to leave your mark on the world. But, and this is a big but, not every dream survives the harsh realities of the market. The business world is littered with the remnants of companies that were once kings of their respective hills, companies that seemed untouchable, inevitable even. In today's video, we're going to journey into the land of what went wrong, as we uncover some of the most shocking business failures, dissecting why they failed, how much they lost, and most importantly, what lessons we can learn from their downfall. Every business starts with a dream, but not every dream survives. In today's video, we'll uncover some of the most shocking business failures, dive into why they failed, how much they lost, and what lessons can be learned from their downfall. All right, let's rewind back to the 1990s, a simpler time when the internet was still a baby and renting movies meant physically going to a store. Enter Blockbuster. Remember those blue and gold temples of entertainment? Blockbuster was the undisputed king of home video rental, with over 9,000 stores worldwide at its peak. They were everywhere, a staple of every neighborhood, every Friday night pilgrimage. But by 2010, Blockbuster filed for bankruptcy, drowning in a sea of debt exceeding $900 million. So how did the king fall so far? The short answer? Blockbuster missed the boat. A really big, digitally streaming boat called Netflix. See, back in the early 2000s, this little company called Netflix came knocking on Blockbuster's door. They weren't offering a partnership, they were offering themselves up on a silver platter. For a mere $50 million, Blockbuster could have owned the future of home entertainment, but they laughed it off. Netflix? That little mail-order DVD service? A niche player at best, they thought. Fast forward a decade and the laughter died in their throats. Today, Netflix isn't just a company, it's a verb. We Netflix and chill, we binge entire seasons in one sitting, we rely on them for everything from documentaries to stand-up comedy specials. And Blockbuster, well, there's one store left in the entire world, a nostalgic relic of a bygone era. The lesson here is about more than just DVDs, it's about adaptation. Businesses that cling to the old ways, that fail to embrace innovation, to anticipate the changing tides of the market, well, they risk becoming as obsolete as a VHS tape in a world of streaming. Let's journey back to our childhoods, to a time when birthdays and holidays meant a trip to the ultimate toy paradise, Toys R Us. Remember the aisles overflowing with action figures, the life-size stuffed animals, the sheer joy of picking out the perfect toy. Toys R Us was more than just a store, it was an experience, a wonderland for kids and, let's be honest, adults too. But by 2018, the music stopped. Toys R Us filed for bankruptcy in the US and the UK, closing its doors and leaving a toy-shaped hole in many hearts. So how did this retail giant go from Geoffrey the giraffe to gone too soon? One word: debt. You see, Toys R Us got caught in a trap, a leveraged buyout that saddled them with mountains of debt. Imagine trying to run a race with a backpack full of rocks. That was Toys R Us. But it wasn't just the debt. The retail landscape was changing, and Toys R Us didn't change with it. The rise of e-commerce, led by the behemoth that is Amazon, meant that customers, especially time-strapped parents, could get the same toys, often at lower prices, without leaving their homes. Toys R Us, with its sprawling stores and high overhead costs, simply couldn't compete. The convenience of online shopping, the endless digital aisles, and the allure of next-day delivery proved too tempting for consumers. The loss? Over $5 billion in debt and countless heartbroken kids and former kids. The takeaway? Businesses must be as agile as a kid on a playground. Manage your finances carefully. Avoid the quicksand of debt, and most importantly, adapt to the changing preferences of your customers. Because the world waits for no one, not even Geoffrey the giraffe. Chapter 3. Woolworths, the crumbling empire of pick and mix. Woolworths, or Woolies, was more than just a store. It was a British institution. Founded in 1909, it was a fixture on the high street for over a century. A place where you could find everything from pick and mix sweets to gardening tools. It was a one-stop shop for generations of Brits. But by 2008, the Woolworths story took a turn for the worse. The once bustling aisles were eerily quiet, the shelves increasingly bare. The iconic red and gold logo was now a symbol of decline. So what went wrong? In a word, identity. Woolworths, in trying to be everything to everyone, ended up being nothing special to anyone. They lost their way, their offerings becoming a hodgepodge of goods. They couldn't compete on price with supermarkets or on quality with specialized stores. And then came the final blow, the 2008 financial crisis. The global economic meltdown hit Woolworths hard, pushing the already struggling retailer over the edge. The loss? Over 30,000 jobs and the closure of over 800 stores. It was a devastating blow to the British High Street and a stark reminder of the unforgiving nature of the market. Interestingly, another discount retailer, Wilko, stepped in to fill the void left by Woolworths. But by 2023, Wilko itself is facing financial difficulties. A cautionary tale that the retail landscape is constantly shifting. The lesson? Evolve or be left behind. Businesses must adapt to changing consumer tastes and have a clear identity in a crowded marketplace. Woolworths sadly lost sight of these principles, and the consequences were dire. Chapter 4, Nokia, the unringing giant of the mobile phone world. Let's rewind to the early 2000s, a time before smartphones ruled the world. Back then, there was one name synonymous with mobile phones: Nokia. Remember the Nokia 3310? The indestructible brick that could survive a nuclear blast? Or the Nokia 3210, with its customizable faceplates and the addictive game Snake? Nokia was the undisputed king of the mobile phone world, a Finnish powerhouse that seemed unstoppable. But then, a revolution happened. A fruit-themed revolution called the iPhone. And the world of mobile phones would never be the same. Nokia, blinded by its own success, failed to see the seismic shift happening right under its nose. They underestimated the power of the smartphone, the allure of a device that could do more than just make calls and send text messages. They clung to their outdated operating systems, Symbian and MeeGo, failing to innovate and adapt to the changing demands of the market. By the time they realized the error of their ways, it was too late. Apple, with its sleek design and intuitive interface, had captured the hearts and minds of consumers. Samsung, with its Android-powered devices, was hot on Apple's heels. Nokia, once a titan of the industry, was relegated to the sidelines, its market share dwindling with each passing quarter. In 2014, they sold their mobile phone division to Microsoft for a paltry $7.2 billion. A fraction of what the company was once worth. The lesson here is a stark one. Never underestimate the pace of technological change. What seems like a niche product today could be the industry standard tomorrow. Nokia's failure to innovate, to embrace the smartphone revolution, led to its downfall. It serves as a cautionary tale for any business, regardless of its size or dominance. Adapt or die. Chapter 5, Learning from the Ruins, Building a Future-Proof Business. We've journeyed through the graveyard of fallen giants, dissecting the missteps of Blockbuster, Toys R Us, Woolworths and Nokia. It's easy to look back and point fingers, but what can we learn from their failures? How can we, as entrepreneurs, avoid their fate? First and foremost, adapt or die. The business world is a constantly evolving ecosystem. What worked yesterday may not work today, and what works today might be obsolete tomorrow. We need to be adaptable, agile, and always willing to embrace change. Blockbuster's refusal to acknowledge the rise of streaming, Toys R Us's inability to keep up with e-commerce, Woolworth's lack of focus, and Nokia's dismissal of the smartphone are cautionary tales. Second, financial prudence is key. Debt can be a useful tool for growth, but it can also be a crushing weight. Toys R Us's leveraged buyout saddled them with unsustainable debt, crippling their ability to compete. Manage your finances carefully and ensure sustainable growth. Third, never underestimate the power of the customer. Businesses exist to serve their customers. Woolworths lost touch with its core customer base. Listen to your customers, understand their needs, and strive to exceed their expectations. Finally, think long-term. The business world is a marathon, not a sprint. Don't be seduced by short-term gains that jeopardize long-term health. Nokia's decision to prioritize its existing market share over innovating for the future cost them dearly. Keep your eye on the horizon, anticipate future trends, and make bold decisions for future success. Failure is not the opposite of success, it's a stepping stone. Many of today's most successful companies were built on the ashes of past mistakes. The key is to learn from those mistakes, adapt, evolve, and never give up on your dreams. The stories of Blockbuster, Toys R Us, Woolworths, and Nokia are more than just cautionary tales. They're reminders that even giants can fall, that innovation is relentless, and that the only constant in the business world is change. But they're also stories of resilience, of the human spirit's ability to learn, adapt, and build anew. So as we wrap up our journey through these business failures, I want to leave you with a question. What will your story be? If you found this video insightful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more business lessons and stories. Let us know in the comments. Which business story shocked you the most? Thanks for watching.